everybody. We're here at the Van Show talking to my friend, Neal Shusterman. Say hi, Neal.
Hi, everybody.
Hey. Neal, we're so excited to have you on the show.
I am happy to be here.
Well, good. Good. Then it's mutual. All right, so we'd like to know a little bit about you. Where are you from?
I am originally from Brooklyn, New York, but I went to California to go to college and have been there ever since. So I live in Southern California.
Southern California. All right. It's a big state.
Yes.
Now, do you love living in Southern California?
I do. I love traveling around the world, though. I love going to other places as well. I seem to spend more time out of Southern California than I do at home.
So, Neal, I read that you spent a little time in Mexico as a child. Is that right?
Actually, yes, I did. I spent my junior and senior year of high school between Brooklyn and between California. I was at the American School of Mexico City, Colegio Americano.
Wow.
And I was there. My father was an engineer, and his company transferred him down there, and me and my mom went and we lived there, and they were two of the greatest years of my life.
That's a big cultural shift, I would imagine.
It was. I didn't speak a word of Spanish. I took 4 years of French in middle school and my first 2 years of high school, so I was kind of had to learn Spanish on the fly.
Yeah. And so what kind of experiences did you get in Mexico that you were able to bring on into your adult life to help you make you a stronger human being?
Getting over everything. Getting over being afraid to communicate, getting over after you've had an international experience, everything else feels easy.
Huh.
I was able to travel after that. When I went to college, I didn't feel homesick because after spending 2 years in a foreign country and having to adapt, you can adapt to anything.
Wow. That's really great.
Mm-hmm.
And so do you use that in your writing now, that idea of like just being able to adapt to anything?
I try to, and I try to instill that into my kids as well.
Yeah, I would imagine, because you have a very diverse bibliography, I would say.
Yeah, I don't like me. I don't stay in one place when I write. I write all different kinds of genres, all different kinds of stories.
Was Unwind originally supposed to be a trilogy, and then you decided to keep it going?
Unwind was supposed to be one book. I was never going to write a sequel.
Wow.
Then I got an idea for a sequel 4 years after writing the first book, and I started to write the sequel and realized I have more than one book in this. And so that sequel became a trilogy, and so that's how it became a 4-book series, plus the 5th book, which was a short story collection.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Wow, that's great. Now, and you write about a lot of difficult topics that kids have to go through.
I like to write stories that shed light in dark places. I want to illuminate the darkness, and so those are the types of stories that I feel compelled to write.
Do you have kids that write to you thanking you for talking about things that were really important to them that they thought maybe they were alone in? I
do. I'm always getting letters and emails from kids who say they felt that they were alone. They felt like nobody understood the story. Helped them change their life. So it's really rewarding to know that the books out there are making such a difference.
Wow, that's so cool. Well, Neal, I want to mention one more thing before we get to your new book.
Sure.
A little thing called the National Book Award.
Yes.
That's kind of a big deal. I mean, it's actually a huge deal. What did it feel like when you found out you won the award?
Well, it's kind of like the Oscars. You're in this big, grand ballroom, and there's 5 nominees, 5 finalists, and you don't know who won until they announce it in the room.
Oh, wow.
So I was there with my 90-year-old aunt and my two sons, and my editor and a bunch of people at the table there waiting for the announcement. And when they announced it, it was just incredible. And I just kept hugging everybody. I was going around the table hugging everybody, and then my agent said, "Go up on the stage." So I went up, and I didn't prepare a speech because I felt it was pretentious to prepare a speech for something that you didn't know that you had already won. Yeah. And so about 5 minutes before I went up, I realized, oh my gosh, if I win, I don't know what I'm going to say. So I just ran through my mind a list of all the people that I knew I wanted to thank, and then just went up there and just spoke from the heart. And in the middle of it, I was talking about my son, Brendan, who the book was inspired by, and he did a lot of the artwork in the book. And it was just in my heart to just call out to him and invite him to come up on the stage with me and accept the award with me.
Oh, wow.
And it was definitely the greatest moment of my life.
Well, now let's talk about your book that you brought with you today.
Yes.
Now, this is the sequel to a book that you wrote earlier.
It's the second book of a trilogy.
The second book of a trilogy, that's right. And the first book was Scythe?
Scythe.
Scythe. And now this is Thunderhead.
Mm-hmm.
So let's imagine Thunderhead has been made into a film, a feature-length film.
Okay.
And you're going to do the trailer for it.
I'm going to do the trailer. Okay.
Yeah.
In a world where scythes rule life and death, the Thunderhead rules the living. It is the cloud evolved into an artificial intelligence that has taken control.
I'm
But the
scared to
Thunderhead
hear.
is not evil, though. The Thunderhead is good. The Thunderhead is the opposite of what we think artificial intelligence will be. It is the greatest thing that's ever happened to humanity because it rules almost as if it were a god. It's almost like a fledgling god. It has all of our knowledge and all of our wisdom with none of our faults.
This is a game where we're going to tell a story together. And so I'm going to start the story, and then you'll tell a line, and then I'll tell a line, and we'll go back and forth
Okay.
until we finish the story or we hit 1 minute.
Okay.
We got a time limit here, so we've got to keep it quick.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
I'm
deal?
ready.
All right, here we go. It was a bright and sunny day.
And the scythe came to the door to take someone's life.
Knock, 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 went the scythe at the door.
The door slowly creaked open, and in walked the scythe.
He looked around to the left. He looked around to the right. There was nobody there.
And then he looked right at me.
Ah! I said, "What are you doing here?"
I have come to glean you, he said. You may not run.
But I really want to run. You're scaring the poop out of me.
I'm sorry. It's just my job.
Ah! Well, all right, let's go.
That's it?
That's the
You're not
end.
gonna fight?
No, well, you said it's just your job, and, well, I guess that's how it's going to be, so let's go.
Okay.
Were you
Well, here we go.
expecting a fight?
All right.
I'm,
The gleaning is complete.
yeah, I don't know. Do people really put up a fight when this? I mean, there's not much you can do.
No, you're not allowed. Actually, you're not allowed to put up a fight.
No, yeah, there you go. So see, I was being a good citizen.
Yes, you were. You were being a very good citizen. You did what you were supposed to do.
That's right. Neal, thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're welcome. That was a lot of fun.
Can we do a high five?
High five.
Awesome. Goodbye.
Bye.